Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us on this special webinar where we have our exec principal, who I'll introduce in a minute, zooming in from Iraq itself, from the school that we are going to talk about. Thank you all for joining us. And this is, as it said on the graphic, this is a candid conversation. So this does require engagement. We need to hear from you. What are you looking for? So let's kick it off with something in the old chat box. Type in there, why have you joined this webinar? What did you want to know? What interested you? What concerns do you have? What interest about Iraq or teaching at the school do you have? Just let's get going and break the ice. And what do you hope to learn from today's session? It is only going to be 30 minutes. This is our 30-minute webinar series, which I will go over at the end too. So it is going to be quick and fast so we don't take up your whole evening, as I presume a lot of you are zooming in from China, so you've done your day's work, and you probably want to get on with your dinner afterwards or something like that. So who's gonna break the ice and tell us what was the thing that made you sign up today? What is it about teaching in Iraq? Curious to learn. What is the likelihood? Yeah, I thought this question was going to come, Siobhán. Get ready. What's the likelihood of getting kidnapped? How is it different to China? So exactly, I thought that it would spike a few people's curiosities, so we can squash some of the myths around teaching in Iraq. So, without further ado, I'll ask Siobhán to say hello. Siobhán Brady is the exec principal of the British International School in Baghdad that we are exclusively working with for their positions that they have open at the moment and for August this year as well. So, without further ado, Siobhán, over to you. And we do have a video, your video, ready to play afterwards as
Brilliant.
well. So, thank you
Okay,
very much.
thank you so much. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Yes, I have been executive principal here since August, and as you can see, I am very safe. There is no noises in the background of bombs going off. It is a fantastic place to work, and it's really interesting to hear those misconceptions. But I think you have to see it to believe it. So I am going to ask the Totally Teach team to play the video so you can see what it's really like. And this video has been designed for people like yourselves to see what it's like after school, just as much as it is to see what it's like in school. And you will see people out in the streets, going to cafes, enjoying themselves, being social, exactly how you would expect it to do. So if we play the video, and I would like to see some comments and some questions based off the video as well. So Rose, if that can be played, that'd be brilliant.
Here we go.
Before coming to Baghdad, there were so many misconceptions that I had heard, and I'm so happy now that all of those were not true. I feel so safe. I'm so welcomed here from the minute I got off the plane. Everything that you hear on the media and all the misconceptions, Baghdad is the most surprising and wonderful place. I was made to feel welcome the minute I stepped off the plane. Everybody is so caring. The hospitality is absolutely a strength in this country. And I'm so proud that I'm able to work in a school and make a difference to the lives of our children here.
Previously, I thought it was a very intense place, very overwhelming. But setting foot to this land has proved to be otherwise. The community here is very friendly, very gentle, very welcoming. Starting from the small kids, the young kids, to the older people, the community is so welcoming and it engulfs you into itself. You feel like as if you're home.
The most rewarding part of working with students and families here is their willingness to learn, the adaptability, and the strong support and cooperation I get from them. That's why I provide the best learning and teaching experience for them. The best part of living in Baghdad is the people themselves, their hospitality. They treat everyone like their family, and they are always willing to help. Before I arrived, of course, what is in the media out there, the social media is what we see in the videos. We see that Baghdad is a country that is so intense, and it's portrayed as not safe. But once I got here, it's different. The reality is very different. The people are so warm. It's so full of culture. My day actually begins with the year 3 faces. I see them before I even have my coffee. I enjoy the day teaching, keeping the lessons fun, active. Actually, after school, I enjoy Baghdad. I try to explore the streets, try the food. If you ever come to Baghdad, there's a dish called mazgoof. It's an Iraqi fish dish. It's on another level. You should try it. Before arriving Baghdad, I did a lot of research, even contacting Indian embassy based in Baghdad, schedule virtual interviews with them to understand the actual situation in Baghdad. And the moment I got the green signal from them, I decided to move with Baghdad opportunity. And if I talk about the surprise, the moment I arrived, the hospitality and the welcoming people of Iraq surprised me most. The best part of Baghdad, I'd say, is the food, especially the masgouf and the kebabs. They are to die for. So during my spare time, I am going through Baghdad town. So far, I have been to Babylon, and it's one of the best things.
So if I compare teaching and learning in Baghdad to my previous experiences or any other school in the UK, I would say that the system may be different, but the children's needs are the same everywhere. Students here are respectful, eager to learn. Their parents are very cooperative and respectful towards the teachers.
So I speak to many people about Baghdad and Iraq, and I am constantly reassuring them that this is absolutely the place to be, and to not worry or overthink what Baghdad is like, because you will never understand how amazing this place is until you visit here. There is so many now Instagram and TikToks which do try and highlight the fantastic options that we have here, the opportunities for what you can do in your free time. And so if you were to want to really know what it's like to live in Baghdad, have a look at those accounts who really celebrate the culture and what is happening now. Not what's happened in the past, but what's actually happening now. Because everybody who's come here, including myself, I am constantly surprised and grateful that I've had the opportunity to not only work here, but also to live here.
And Baghdad is a very nice experience for me, because currently in the school we are taking the Pearson system, which offers the UK curriculum. I was used to Cambridge, but this is another setup which is more challenging in terms of how to make students to become positive, high-order thinkers. So it's a nice experience. I'm learning according also to the trainings that we have here. I'm very much glad that I'm part of this new system. I have spent 14 years working with early years and foundation stages in Middle East countries such as Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. But Baghdad stands a unique place in my heart because working with Iraqi management is something out of the box, and because they welcome my ideas and happily embracing them. Teaching in Baghdad is really interesting. It's more of the same as other international schools, but it has allowed me to be flexible, mostly because one, the language barrier, but the school has really provided assistance. We have interpreters, teaching assistants, so really it's been a smooth transition.
The best part is when I visit the historic and religious places that are around. It's quite an experience for me, because some of the places I've been reading about them, and just being there is making me feel that I'm at the right place.
Actually, if I really recommend anyone who has the chance to be here, to come here, to seize the day and take the chance, because Baghdad is a big chance for everybody here. Actually, just like the Quran says, the word is a book, and those who don't travel read only one page. So be here.
I will say that
please disregard the internet and the news headlines. With Baghdad, it's a risk that's worth it. Take it. You will never regret and you will never look back, because Baghdad already feels like a second home to me, and it's just not a bus stop.
So we welcome you to come to our school to do something different. There are so many international schools around the world, and you can go to the same place as everybody else. But we're asking you to take a chance, to try something new, to take a risk, and come and visit a brand new country and discover something new.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope it gave a little bit of a flavour of the reality of living here, that it isn't a scary place, and it's not 20 years ago, which is sadly the misconception that a lot of us had, me included, because that's what I saw on the news growing up when I was younger. But now it is a real hub of activity. There's hotels opening up. There's so much to do here in the evenings, and beautiful places. And you know, if you've ever been to anywhere else in the Middle East, places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, some of the hotels now here are astonishingly beautiful and up there with some of the best as well. So hopefully that might have triggered some questions, and it'd be great to hear that you maybe something that you are surprised at seeing. Like, you could put that in the comment as well, because I think it really helps us to see when we're showing these videos that it does give the right impression to those watching it. I'm going to have to be careful because I'm on my phone to reply to some of these questions that are coming through. How is it different to China? Well, I think personally, I've only been to China once. I think obviously culturally it is going to be different, but we are a British school, a British international school. Our students do follow the IGCSE and A level. When you're here and in the building, you could be anywhere in the world. The building has been built with very high specifications for international education, and so I think it's definitely living differently would be from China. But when you're in the building and in school, it's completely the same as you would expect from any school. The education sphere in Iraq is very new. We're one of 11 international schools I can't remember if it's Iraq or Baghdad, but there aren't many international schools here. We're one of 3 British schools in this area. There are more opening all the time, because what I'm finding is a lot of families are returning. So I've met with, since September, I think at least 4 or 5 families who are NHS doctors in the UK. So they work in the hospitals in the UK, and they're coming home. They're coming back to Iraq because they actually feel that this is a better place for them to be than the UK, which is a really interesting for me to hear, obviously being from the UK myself. So we do have families who are now returning to Iraq and to Baghdad. Benefits, all international packages, salary, visa, annual flights, and accommodation and insurance. So it's the normal package. Our salaries are competitive, and when I say competitive, I compare a lot to the UAE. So you're looking at around $2,000 and above. However, the cost of living here is a lot less. So you save a lot more. So a lot of our teachers save, gosh, of their salary, they save about 80% to 90% of their salary every month, because when you are out and about, you don't spend a lot. So that is definitely a benefit. And obviously the flights back home every year. I know some places might not always be every year. And we're not too far. We're quite a hub. So from here, you can fly from Baghdad to Istanbul, or from Baghdad to Dubai or Qatar. So it's quite easy to get to most of your home countries. Let me go back.
Siobhán, like that's huge, and I think that's the big difference when you're looking at more popular, well-known destinations to teach in, such as Singapore, Hong Kong. Yeah, they're established, you kind of know what you're getting, but it's super competitive, and most of your salary is spent on housing alone as well. And they're not bad places to teach, but it really then does depend on you and kind of the time and your teaching journey and what you're really looking for and your circumstances as well. It's like you say, if there's new international schools opening all the time, it's opportunity filled, isn't it? Compared to more established markets that will have just
Yeah,
pros and cons with others.
yeah, yeah. And it's what you're looking for as well. You know, if you're wanting to go somewhere and save money, we're a great option for that. If you are going somewhere where, there's always something, for example, theatre or music, this might not be the best place for you, but there is a plenty for you to do from a cultural side, from eating out. You'll have heard my team talking about the food. The food is amazing here. So that social part of it and going out with friends. And I know every weekend they all go out together to the different historic sites across the region as well. So again, there's a really lovely community that's built within the school. I think someone asked about accommodation, and you said yourself that a lot of money goes on that. Well, our accommodation is included. It is on site. I say on site, it's just sort of next door to the building, and all bills are included. So again, you don't pay for
Wow.
electricity or the internet, water, air conditioning, all of that. And so you literally get your salary, and that's it. Like that's your money for you to have for you, and it takes 2 minutes to walk here. It's very secure. We've always got security. We've got a men's just down the road from the school and the women's. So again, they have gyms in there. They have communal areas in there as well. So it's a really it's a nice place to live. That's where I live as well.
Wow, that's incredible to have accommodation and all bills paid. You don't get that. Not
No,
even in
not
cities
every
in
year.
China. That's a
Yeah,
big thing.
yeah.
So
So that's the accommodation. Sorry.
yeah, no, I think that there's like basically it's like two types of questions. It's like rooted about your school in particular, and James has asked a really good question as well about contracts, and then it's also kind of living there. That's the
Mhm.
kind of two things that people are more worried about. So if we stick with your school as well,
Yeah.
and it's been asked a few times about contracts. So are
Mhm.
there 1 year, 2 years? Um, and the working week typically 5 days because that's different
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So it's 2-year contract to begin with, and then it becomes rolling after that. If you agree to stay longer, then we it was reflected in your salary as well. So if you wanted to, instead of doing annual, you want to do 2 or 3 or 4 years, then we would look at giving a bonus as staying. But yeah, no, there's contracts there for the staff. We have how do we have? Which I think there's a lot we do on professional development. We do fly a lot of people out here. So from the UK to upskill, I think it was one of the questions before regarding that. What was one of James's other questions, Rowena? Sorry, I forgot.
The working week, which is
Oh,
interesting.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. We're Sunday, Thursday. So we start work on a Sunday, we finish on a Thursday. Thursday is a bit of a shorter day. The day itself is staff are in from 7:20, and then we finish at depending if it's a training day, we finish between 3:45 and or 4:15.
Amazing. And James also asked about Arabic lessons. So in China, we say you don't need to speak Chinese, but obviously it's
Mhm.
advantageous and certainly in certain cities in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it like in Baghdad? Arabic, is it needed? Do most people speak English?
No, most people do speak Arabic. What we found is a lot of our non-Arabic speakers, as because they sort of everybody sort of goes around together. So if you wanted to go to the shop or if you wanted to go out, you're always with an Arabic speaker as well because that's your friendship group. So yes, absolutely, I would encourage anybody to learn another language. Uh, but we've got our phones now, and there's lots of ways around it. I put my hands up, and I do not speak any Arabic, so you get by because you're always with someone that will usually speak Arabic, and most people do understand English. They're just not very confident. But it's what would I say? There's more English than you would imagine here, but the Arabic would help.
Amazing. And then this is kind of connected to another question as well.
Mhm.
Maybe we can quickly say about the holidays that are offered within the contract? And then is it easy to travel? Because we all want to do that on our time off. So can you go around the country easily? And then you can, what kind of countries can you visit very easily and probably
Yeah.
cheaply nearby?
Yeah. So the school holidays follow the British one. So you get your half term at October, your winter break, spring break, your half terms, and we finish on the last day of June. So we get all of July and 3 weeks of August. We come back a week before the students, and they come back whatever the earliest is in September. So normal UK holidays are followed. The links from here is Istanbul is a really easy way to get from Baghdad to Europe. Then you've obviously got Dubai. So there's 2 flights to Dubai a day, 2 to Abu Dhabi. I think there's 3 to Istanbul. So it's really easy to get out. It's not one of the countries where I think sometimes you have to apply to leave. You don't have to do that. If you want to go on holiday, you just go on holiday. You've got your visa and your passport and you can travel. Again, another misconception is if you have the Iraq stamp in your visa, in your passport, it'll be a problem. That's not the case. When you do some research, it comes up for the US, but I believe that that's not actually true. It's just that sometimes the e-visa might not be as quick, but most countries are not bothered about Iraq when it comes to the visas in your passport.
Amazing. And socially, which is a good question, what sort of sports clubs are there around? What's popular?
Well, like everywhere in the world now, it's a paddle. Paddle's very
Oh, yeah.
cool, isn't it? We actually spoke about maybe having paddle at the school, but we have there's a football mad here. They love football, so there's plenty of sports. And I think one thing that I would hope that we will build in the next few years. So the company that owns the school, they have a football team and they play other people. So I'm hoping that we can get a staff football team and join their league as well. So if you did want to come and play, you could play, but I think we should start our own competitors. We can compete against the company as well.
So it's a real like community atmosphere that can be, because if there's only 11 international schools, then what's the kind there's not that many foreigners there yet, or
No, it's not. And I know, our other colleagues in the other schools, you're asking the same questions everyone asks, is it safe? And there is still a barrier to that. And in the next 2 weeks, we're inviting all those schools to our school because we're wanting to make our own network across those international schools so people can make friendships with people,
yeah.
in the community as well. So we're wanting to definitely build on that.
Okay, it sounds just really exciting. It's kind of if you're prepared, like you said at the beginning, to take the risk and to be there on the ground when this all starts, that's when you're going to feel all the opportunities and see a place grow and develop. And it's actually really nice. That's not as common in China, where the school's very happy to collaborate all the time and to create a community and to share and work together in that way. And that's how you learn is by, expanding your network, learning from others, and being able
Yeah.
to do that. So that's amazing to hear that they're doing that.
I fully believe in, although maybe competitors, but actually we're as a country we're trying to do something to really benefit the country. So when we talk about our school, we are talking about our school preparing our students to lead Iraq in the future, because that is sort of the goal of why we were set up, is because things do need to be improved. And for me, the whole ecosystem of improving education in Iraq will only benefit everybody else. And so, coming here now at the very start of this amazing journey, because if I think back to what people might have said about Dubai, 15, maybe 20 years ago, and I know when I moved there, I went too late to the party. And I think now, if people come now, they're going to be here at the beginning, and it's only going to get stronger over the next few years. You can even since I've come here, I can see the development and the investment that's happening here.
Wow. And for visa regulations, we have it in China about English positions versus subject positions and things like that. Are there any visa stipulations in Iraq based on the position that the teacher is applying for?
No, they don't. No, they would be checking we haven't, touch wood, I've not had any issues with visas. Some countries take longer than others, but it's not. It always comes through at the end. But there's none of this checking of subjects. They don't. It's not that thorough. They come. Teachers are here on a teaching or a working visa, and what you do doesn't really make any difference.
Brilliant. And what's like the minimum requirements? Degree, bachelor's degree in any subject?
Yeah. It's a subject in your sort of. Sorry, this is my specification. This isn't government or anything. That I would like the person to hold a teaching qualification, whatever that is, whether it is diploma, PGCEs, some are BEds, and then if it's a subject plus. But really, I'm looking for personalities. I'm looking for people who want to learn, who want to develop, that are willing to get feedback and training and to improve their practice. And we're hoping in the future to offer, when we get our BSO in the next year, to be somewhere where we can offer PGCEs and then ECTs after that as well. We're not doing it at the moment because I'm adamant that when we do our BSO, I want to come out with outstanding features. Because I know we could get it now, but I want to go in strong. So we're going to make sure in the next year we get to that position.
Fantastic. And you just said about it then, obviously, when you have the BSO, but what would a teacher experience now in terms of professional development if they joined?
Yeah. So we have our weekly professional development. So, for example, last night was the refresher for safeguarding training. We do that every 6 months, and then not next Saturday, the Saturday after, we have a team coming from the UK who will do primary and secondary. They will be running sessions all that Saturday, and then they do sessions after school every day, along with individual sort of feedback on observations. To get tailored one-to-one feedback from them, and they're supported with our IGCSE and A level as well. So they come out termly. Then we have our individual one, and then we have our training from Pearson. All of our leaders have an executive coach that they get every week as well. And so we're really pushing to improve our teaching and learning across the school. And there's been quite a significant investment from us, because we know that this is what we need to make sure that all our teachers are at the same expectation going forward.
Fantastic. And I've got one last question. I've checked the chat, so it really is. What's the age limit? Again, we're just comparing China because most people are zooming in from there, but China caps it at 60. There's been some, maybe if you've already got a visa in country, it's a little bit, you can be a little bit older, but around about that. Is there a age limit in Iraq?
Nope, there's no age limit for us in our hiring. There's no, I'm sure at some point in the future things will be more restricted, but because we're so new, like international schooling is so new, there isn't the restrictions that other countries have slowly over time gone, oh, we're going to do this, this, and this. We're not there yet. So actually, we're very accessible place for new teachers, people in different parts of their journey in their own life as well. So no, we don't have those restrictions.
Amazing. And thank you so much, Philip. I think you'll be happy to see this as well, Siobhán, in the chat. Just joined you and said already feels at home. So you cannot get better than that. And I promise you, I don't know Philip. I didn't pay him to say this, neither did Siobhán. And thank you so much for sharing it, Philip. That's really, really nice for everyone to see. And I think this is what's important. I will be completely honest, if it was because Siobhán came to me with this opportunity, with this school, and it's knowing the people that you know within your network and that you trust wholeheartedly to think that these are really good positions available at a school that cares, that can develop you, and a country that's an exciting one to be a part of on its journey as well, and you can contribute to that. So keeping our promise of 30 minutes. Thank you so much, Siobhán. I think that that was really positive. I think everyone has learned something from this session, including us as well. And we really do hope that in the chat, my WeChat is there. Leanne's email is there if you are interested in working with Siobhán at her school, and Philip, then you can get in touch with us. We are exclusively handling all their vacancies and your application, so please do get in touch. But thank you again, Siobhán. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
And I will sum up with that we are doing these 30-minute webinar series. We love a series. So next week, I'm doing a 2026 Navigating the International Job Market. I'll go through CVs, applications, and briefly what's going on in the world. And I'll do a live CV kind of session with someone as well. That's next week. And then the week after is with our partners, Bank of East Asia, who have had great success opening accounts for foreigners in China. And they've been sending money home via the app within a few seconds. It's been so easy. We've had really, really good feedback. And now you can get a free pizza. And who doesn't want that at lunchtime? So join us for that on the 6th of February as well. Everyone's got Rose's email, marketing@totallyteach.com. Follow our WeChat or talk to anyone on the team that you are in touch with. I am offering the CV and career consultations, and this is a time of year that you need to get things sorted and apply to schools wherever you may want to teach. But thank you all so much for joining us, giving us your time on a Wednesday evening. We do really, really appreciate it. And anything else, please do get in touch with someone from the Totally Teach team, and hopefully we'll see you on another one of our webinars. There will be a recording sent to everyone, and it will also be on our YouTube channel as well. Thank you again to Siobhán, and everyone have a lovely evening.